A faffing around video. Surprise, surprise. So, I was looking at something and I remembered about something people have, and they have chips in and they put chips into tomato soup. And I think they put cheese in as well. And I've never done it, but I know people do it. So it was I worked this week, and it was chips. So these are my homemade chips. They've already been cooked twice, so they just need finishing off in some beef dripping. And it was also tomato soup. So I kind of thought, and I've got some a bit of leftover cheese as well. So I kind of thought, let's have a go at chips in tomato soup with grated cheese. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it in an oven-proof dish, and I'm going to bake it. Well, I'm going to grill it in the oven once. So we're going to cook the chips, pour the tomato soup over the top of them. So this is the tomato soup at the back. You can't really see it, but it's hot. And then we're going to grate the cheese, chips in the oven-proof dish, tomato soup on top, and then grated cheese on top of that, and then the chips will be hot and the soup will be hot, so we just need to gratinate the cheese. So it's one of those, I've got everything here, it's leftovers, so we're going to turn it into something else. So, but you could just buy your chips, and you could buy some tomato soup, and if you've got a bit of cheese, you could just grate the cheese on top of it. But then again, and then there's, I suppose it's kind of a variation on cheesy chips. But I'm going to use all this cheese because it's Saturday night and I'm starving. I've been swimming, so there's lots of cheese, and then we'll see how it turns out. So, cook the chips in beef dripping. I should have got it a little bit hotter before I started, but we're back when those are nice crispy, and then we'll see about putting it all together. Right, chips are done. So the temperature off. Just going to drain them onto a little bit of paper. Shouldn't have that spoon in it, it's got rather hot now. So I'm just going to drain out a little bit of paper just to get rid of the excess beef dripping. I'm a fan of fat, but I'm not a fan of things being overly greasy. There is a video on how to make these chips. It's a bit of a process, but it's well worth it. And there's also a video on rendering your own fat as well. The cost of everything's gone up, so to buy beef dripping is a fortune now, but you can make your own. And if you buy from a local butcher, you can generally get some fat for free. So I need to put a lid on that. Lid on it, and then there's going to be no danger, is there? Oh, we've got the fan on. We don't need the fan on. So he's just out the way just for the minute. I can go in there out of the way. Shake the chips a little bit. So it was worth doing. It was worth doing. That in the bin. Now, the soup's already hot, so we don't have to worry about that. So I kind of want some of the chips sticking out. So maybe we should have put, no, because we've drained them, or we've put them under some fat on it. So I want some of the chips sticking out the top. So we'll just do that. So we've got a few crispy ones sticking up, and then it'll be a pool of tomato soup in the bottom. Mix it around a little bit first, and then pour in. It's pretty self-explanatory, this dish, if you can call it a dish. but chips work with tomato sauce, and cheesy chips work. So I can see why this works. That there, and then plenty of cheese on top. That's a lot of cheese. That's extremely self-indulgent on a Saturday night, isn't it? So, because those chips are out the top of the tomato soup, they're not going to go soft. So we'll have some soft chips, which have soaked up tomato soup, and then we'll have crunchy chips on top. So, underneath the grill, 5 or 10 minutes until it's nice and crispy. Right, wobbly camera. Let's have a look. I don't think we want to do that any longer. Otherwise the chip's going to burn. Look at that. Molten lava of chips. Now I've got something in the oven, so that's that. What are we going to put? Let's put it on a plate. And then we can have a look at it. It's a lot of cheese. I shouldn't have used that much cheese. That's going to need a bowl. That's going to need a bowl. Or maybe I'll just eat it out of that. I think I'll just eat it out of that. Maybe I should take a picture first. Probably should. Yeah, I'd better take a picture, shouldn't I? Otherwise, it's just going to be. Yes. I'll pause. I'll take a picture. Change of mind. Let's get it in a bowl. Not the most appealing looking dish. But it's going to be delicious, isn't it? I mean, the parts of it, cheese, chips and tomato soup, are going to be good. It's going to burn my mouth, isn't it? Right. It won't burn my mouth. It won't burn my mouth. It's going to burn my mouth, isn't it? That's delicious. There we go. Saturday night dinner. Made some leftovers. Tomato soup, chips and cheese. Delicious.